As a woman, I think there have been a lot of different things that have impacted me throughout my life. And one thing is like kind of the nature of sexism and what it means to live in a patriarchal society. Do you guys all know what patriarchy is? A couple head nods, some no's. Okay, so patriarchy, so there's one part of it is when heredity of wealth and status moves through the father's line in a family, so like patriarchy, patra from like father. In this kind of context, it's also just when society is sort of run by men and it doesn't matter whether or not it benefits women's needs. And so we live in what's often referred to, well, it's like a patriarchal society, can also be viewed as a white supremacist society, because oftentimes the needs of people of color and women are very much on the bottom rungs and the needs of a few are put at the top. So when we had this whole thing around Occupy, and people talking about, the 99%, this idea that the wealth tends to be only a few people really hold on to that, and then there's the rest of us. So a lot of times when we think about like sexism and racism, we think about like it's those moments when someone says a horrible joke or says something rude, but it's actually existing on an institutional level where it's part of everything that's operating, and it manifests in little things as well as large things. And so this piece is actually about kind of encountering sexism as a young child, but not really knowing that that's what it is. Because I think initially, as a young woman, I didn't really realize it until later. And I'll tell you a story about me in high school after this. Playground is the name of this piece. Fearless of falling, teetering on the silver rung, she reaches for the bar, grass cool still between blistered palms. Unaccounted for, scratches and bumps mark kindergarten-length legs, which will require another year to grow the distance that now separates her from the metal cylinders. She grins, and with a quick leap, floats high above her vast domain called playground. 75 times she travels back and forth from one side of the bars to the other, minus the 3 she skipped while counting. Each pass completed with greater conviction now that the physics of sway and release are inherent reactions, progress self-initiated. Arms stretched wide as wingspans, she rests in the middle, catches her breath, legs swinging to the rhythm of her thoughts while she surveys the span of grassy field between fences, the twisted slide in the distance, faded red plastic glory jutting from the pavement. Scattered children chasing, throwing, bouncing balls, screaming, laughing at play when it happens. An object in motion will stay in motion until boys gather, needing something to occupy, take over, controlling essentials of youthful existence, space. It's